I'm grateful to have two of my colleagues joining us today. Johannes is Jotform's Head of Information Security. He's here to walk you through our latest offering, Jotform Government. And my colleague Griffin is also on the line. He's here to help answer your questions in the chat. We've got a lot to pack in today's webinar, and it will be recorded for your future reference. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is our agenda for the day. If you're not familiar with Jotform or Jotform Government, or wondering how Jotform Government differs from our single user and enterprise plans, you're in luck. That will be covered in great detail today. We'll start off with a brief introduction of our guest speaker. Next, we'll provide an overview of the benefits and features of Jotform Government. Then we'll highlight some key security considerations and what's next on the Jotform Government roadmap. We'll also provide examples of organizations that can benefit from this latest offering. At the end, we'll share a few resources for you and save some time to answer your questions as well. Let's go ahead and dive in. At this time, I'd like to introduce our speaker for today's webinar, Johannes Wiklund. As Jotform's Head of Information Security, Johannes is leading our overall security program, as well as championing the development of Jotform Government, our most secure product to date. He was also instrumental in Jotform's achievement of SOC 2 Type 2 compliance. He's joining us from Virginia. Welcome, Johannes.
I'm glad to be here.
Great. It would be wonderful if you could just start off by telling us what Jotform Government is all about.
Sure thing, Lainey. Jotform Government is a version of our enterprise product that we've tailored specifically for government. And the initial focus really is on state and local government agencies, as well as any state-sponsored educational institutions. And Jotform Government, similar to Jotform Enterprise, is really a great way for replacing outdated paper-based processes, and especially in the public sector, introducing user-friendly online forms. And it's backed by the powerful platform that we all know as Jotform Enterprise, and providing best-in-class data security. And to accomplish that, we took our most secure version of Jotform, which was the SOC 2 HIPAA-compliant version, and we're now hosting it in a FedRAMP-compliant data center and made it even more secure. Our simplified data collection process really lets you create forms in minutes, or you can convert those old-fashioned PDFs to a fillable form. And you can also add e-signature. There's payment collection on the front end, and on the back end, we add things like workflow, automation, administrative processes. You can route forms for approval, etc. So it's really a great plug-and-play way to automate and digitize some of those old paper processes. So what about security? Well, so we're adding a number of controls that align with FedRAMP and StateRAMP, and various other ramps. If you work for a state government, you may know that many states have similar cloud security compliance program. And most of those are based on the same common set of security controls, which is established by NIST. So what we're doing is introducing those controls into this new product. And good news, we have already achieved TexRAMP certification for the state of Texas. Our team is committed to continuous improvement and achieving StateRAMP as well. And with our dedication to implement those security controls, we're going to ensure the highest level of data privacy and security for your organization. So what I've noticed as a citizen when I interact with government, it usually involves some kind of form. And Jotform Government really enables your team then to quickly and easily move those cumbersome paper processes to a digital service and provide a lot better user experience for your constituents. And as I mentioned before, with many integration options, you can send that data to wherever it's needed within your back-end back office systems without having to manually key it in or scan it, etc. So compared to paper, first of all, we're simplifying your process. And secondly, digital files are much easier to protect. And you can also track, audit, and secure them so that you have full accountability of who's accessing the data. That's why we believe that transitioning from paper and static PDFs to online form is really going to make your agency more efficient. We've already helped some of our government customers get ahead of this trend, and now with Jotform Governments, we are going to make this available to everybody. So for those of you out there who already are Jotform customers and may consider migrating from a single user plan, you're going to see that Jotform Government offers a lot more enterprise level features. So for example, you can now create multiple users for your organization within the admin console. You can create platform-wide settings. You can, as I mentioned, create workflows that route forms between various users. And we also have tons of reporting features. And many customers also appreciate the flexibility to collect data offline. So for example, if you're conducting a survey out in the field, you can even set up a form with offline kiosk mode, and that means it can be completed without an internet connection. And many of you may be wondering about security features. So another security feature is full disk encryption. And if you like to bring your own domain name, you're going to get a dedicated server that is only for your organization that can be accessible with your domain, and you can set up single sign-on with your selected sign-on portal. So all of this is going to lead to a better user experience, not only for your constituents, but also for the form builders within your own organization. And in the past, if you thought you couldn't use Jotform for a government agency because of compliance reasons, Jotform Government is here really to change that, and we're going to see more details on the next slide. So why is security important for government? Well, from my experience, both working in cybersecurity as well as supporting government agencies, I know two things are true. Number one, government agencies collect a great deal of personally identifiable data, PII. And number two, cybersecurity threats are real. And this is why the NIST initially established a set of security controls that all systems containing government data must follow. So for you out there at a government agency to earn and maintain trust of your constituencies, then you need to make sure you have robust processes and systems, and Jotform Government can be part of that. And if your agency or educational institution is collecting payments, one of the differentiators that Jotform offers is that we integrate with various payment processors, so you can easily accept an online payment. We are PCI DSS level 1 certified for you to collect secure payments online, whether it be for permits, licenses, other fees, etc. So where are we right now? Well, after a thorough process really of ensuring our new secure infrastructure and process controls are ready, we have now officially launched Jotform Government. It's currently available and in use by several of our customers. Now, we continue to enhance the security features of this product. As I already mentioned before, we started by using our SOC 2 compliant enterprise solution as a baseline, and we're continuing to introduce more stringent controls based on NIST. Now, implementing the full set of NIST controls, the 800-53 controls specifically, this is a journey. And to help us along that journey, we've enrolled in StateRAMP's Progressing Snapshot program. This is a program where we're constantly reviewing our security control documentation with StateRAMP's PMO, and we're progressing up the ladder of security maturity toward full StateRAMP authorization. I guess you could say we're continually ramping up our security. So this does put us on a path for full StateRAMP authorization in 2025. That, of course, will require us to have the system and its security controls independently audited by a third party, and this is similar to how we've audited our enterprise systems for SOC 2 in the past. Now, the StateRAMP and the SOC 2 audits are somewhat redundant, so we're not planning on auditing Jotform Government for SOC 2, but those familiar with StateRAMP or FedRAMP you realize that those audits are even more rigorous. Now, you've heard a lot about the security features that I've been focusing on, but what about the customer experience? My colleague Lainey has been focusing on that side of the coin, and here's what she's already heard from some of our government customers.
Thank you so much, Johannes. Appreciate that rundown of all things Jotform Government. So yeah, as we mentioned at the top of the hour, Jotform Government provides the same no-code drag and drop benefits of our standard enterprise package with even more security features to support the strict compliance requirements of StateRAMP. And our customers in government and education have realized real savings from simplifying their tech stack with our e-signature and automation tools, also repurposing $30,000 in fireproof cabinets to get rid of all that paper that they were using, and also saving thousands of hours by automating manual work by some of those automation tools that Johannes mentioned on the back end. So we invite you to consider how your institution or agency can streamline processes and enhance security with Jotform Government. We work with thousands of organizations around the world, including many in government, healthcare, education, and nonprofit sectors, and would welcome the opportunity to support your goals. Okay, as mentioned, we do have a handful of resources available to you to help you learn more about this, whether you're new to Jotform or whether you want to dig deeper into this latest offering. So we have a whole section of our website dedicated to all things Jotform Government. There's a landing page there that covers the features, the benefits, and just like I said, a lot of details. Also, if you'd like to learn how government agencies, educational institutions, other organizations are leveraging Jotform Enterprise and Jotform Government, we have dozens of case studies for you to explore under the resources section of our website. Also in that section, if you'd like to dig into the details of technology and security best practices, how people are making that shift to digitalization and getting away from paper, we have several white papers. Those are also listed under the resources section. And if you'd like to learn by doing, we have over 10,000 free templates available to you. You can go ahead and download those right from our website. Plug them in, see how they work for you. And it's a great way to just get a sense of how other folks are using this platform and the vast variety of things available and things it can do. Of course, if you'd like to refer back to any of the sections of this webinar, share it with your team. You'll find the recording on our YouTube channel. And we also have a number of demo videos there, an entire Lunch and Learn playlist series where they go through a lot of different features and functionality of Jotform Enterprise. And then finally, if you'd like to see exactly how Jotform Government can specifically help you and your team, we invite you to contact Jotform's sales team. They'd be happy to help you out. All right, at this point, I'd love to check in with Griffin and see if we have any questions from either our viewers on Zoom or in the YouTube chat.
Yeah, totally. We have a couple questions here. So I'll start off here with this question. Question from a viewer in Illinois. It says, we often collect PDF forms for signature by parents and students. Is Jotform Government FERPA compliant for school administrative use in protecting student data records, grades K through 12?
Okay, that's a great question. So while Jotform is not an educational institution covered by FERPA, Jotform does work with educational providers to provide transparency about how we're handling and processing student data and basically help you ensure your compliance with FERPA. So, by referencing our robust security program, maintaining the confidentiality of that student's personal information inside our forms and apps and other products, you can showcase how you would meet FERPA.
Awesome. We've got a couple more here. The next one is going to be, we currently have the enterprise HIPAA version of Jotform to protect PHI. How does the government version differ?
Okay, so I mentioned our SOC 2 HIPAA version, which already has strict controls, which includes data encryption. It requires customers' permission before Jotform personnel can access any of your form data. The government version adds even more stringent requirements, such as change control, tracking of who's accessing the environment, and also ensuring that only US citizen personnel has access to those servers. So it does up the game a little bit in terms of security while still providing everything that you're used to. And good news is that all of our government servers are HIPAA compliant by default.
Cool. And I think that kind of somewhat answers Melissa's question from the chat in terms of the differences between government and regular enterprise or a regular HIPAA server, excuse me. So next question, two similar questions here. The first is, what is the main difference between the government form and standard forms? And the second question is, how is it different from silver education, excuse me, how is this different from the silver education license we have? We are a local education authority as well as a state of Arizona agency.
Okay, so as you've heard today, there's probably a pretty big difference in both features and security between our single user subscriptions, such as gold, silver, and bronze, and the enterprise subscriptions, which would include Jotform Enterprise and Jotform Government. So the main difference between Jotform Government and the silver license is that you get to take advantage of the heightened security features, the customization options, bringing your own domain name, and then the multi-user features like assigning role-based access, creating different users, etc. And the fact, and I guess to address the other question, the difference between the standard enterprise and the government is that we are now running the government on FedRAMP-compliant servers in a FedRAMP data center, and we're introducing even more security controls. So all of these both of these have an upgrade path, right? So basically, if you want to upgrade from a single user silver license, for example, you can talk to the Jotform sales team to discuss how to do that. And also for existing enterprise customers, just talk to your customer success manager.
All right, a couple more here. The next one is going to be, will there be an upgrade path from existing single user accounts to Jotform enterprise accounts, Jotform government without rebuilding the forms or losing entries?
Yeah, so let me just maybe talk a little more about the upgrade path. Yes. So for existing customers that if you're interested in migrating, there is a way we can migrate all of the forms for you so that you don't have to rebuild them. We can migrate whatever forms of your choosing from either a gold, silver, bronze account or from an enterprise account.
All right, and then just a couple more here. We currently have the HIPAA compliant subscription because of the information we collect for our 911 center. Is there a Jotform government package with HIPAA compliance? Would you recommend Jotform government for us, or should we stay with our current HIPAA compliant subscription?
I definitely recommend contacting your customer relationship manager about moving to Jotform Gov because great news, all Jotform Gov servers are HIPAA compliant by default.
Awesome. And I think that wraps up the questions for now.
Okay, and I did see in the chat there were some folks who asked more sales related or pricing related questions. We're going to ask that you defer that to contact sales. We can give you, I think there's a link in the resources slide. But yeah, so if there were any further security related questions, I'm happy to take them, but for sales or pricing, we'll defer that.
Yeah, I think that might be it. So yeah, as Johannes mentioned, please do feel free to reach out to if you have an existing customer service or sales rep with Jotform, by all means, reach out to that particular contact. Otherwise, there's contact sales form on the Jotform Enterprise and the Jotform Government pages. So we're happy to answer any questions you have We'll also be following up with the link to this recording. So if you've registered for this webinar, if you're here, you will definitely hear from us with the links to all these recordings and resources that are shared. And as I mentioned, this will be available on our YouTube as well. So thanks everyone for joining us today. I hope you learned and got your questions answered, and we look forward to seeing you